Hi fam, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, welcome. I am Wongel Zelalem, yours truly. Today, what are we going to talk about? Oh, by the way, I hope you like my background. I'm trying something new here. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but we'll see. If we like it, we'll keep it. If we don't, we'll figure it out together. So, today I want us to talk about telling the African story. How can we tell our own stories, specifically when it comes to movies, entertainment, and social media sphere? That's what I want to focus on for today. There are so many ways you can tell the African story, but today I want to focus on the entertainment side of it, like movies and music, because of the topic that I chose to discuss. Today I want us to talk about the Nigerian movie producer Mo Abudu acquiring rights to produce a movie with Will Packer based on Hushpuppi, the fall of the billionaire Gucci master. So Mo Abudu is going to collaborate with Will Packer to tell this story. You might say, why is it important to tell this story? First of all, I'm sure they chose that story because it's juicy, right? Hushpuppi is just an interesting person. He was an Instagram influencer with millions of followers. He flashed his wealth. He lived his best life. He was a baller, right? One of the reasons why he was caught. Basically, for those of you who don't know Hushpuppi, he was a scammer, allegedly. He is under FBI investigation right now. He was caught in Dubai and he is in US right now being tried. I don't even think he's being tried. He's still in custody. I think they're trying to get a good case against him because I feel like they have quite a lot. Because as much as he's a scammer, I also am able to detach myself from that and see how much of a genius he was in everything that he did. I'm not gonna be for scammers, liars, cheaters, people that do other people wrong. You know, at the end of the day, he is scamming other people of their money, right? He even scammed an European league, football league, I believe. He's that good. Imagine scamming those people. And he scammed Qatar millionaire. What was he? I think he was scamming him. The guy wanted to build a school, so long story short, he scammed him out of $1 million. So that's why I'm saying I am against what these guys are doing, scammers specifically, that, you know, steal people's money. And it's please just understand when I say this, I'm not with that at all, but I'm also able to see what kind of skills and talents those people have. Imagine if it was being used for good. Imagine if this was being used to program softwares, platforms. Africans, we don't have platforms like all these social medias, YouTube, Instagram, Telegram, you name it. All of them, most of them are coming from Silicon Valley, from the US, and we just use it. One day, God forbid, if these people or this organization decide to block us, ban us, what is going to happen? We won't have means to communicate with our family members, friends, our followers, subscribers. No, we cannot, because we don't own it. We don't benefit at all other than being on it and contributing or being part of the product ourselves. You know, we're being sold. Our attention is being used against us. We are being sold products, items. We're just users, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. We're not benefiting at the back end with the revenue and everything else. We're not really benefiting, and these big corporations are. So all I'm saying is, with brains like this, you know, when we talk about scammers, for example, Nigerian scammers, because this guy Hushpuppi is a Nigerian alleged scammer. Imagine how much Nigeria can benefit from using these minds, using the skills, using this youth. You know, we can do so much, not just for Nigeria. They can help out the whole continent, whole of Africa. So that's why it's like a bittersweet for me. I'm glad he was caught because he did so many shady things, but I'm also able to look at him and say, wow, so much could have been done if you were given better opportunity. You know, he's not shy to tell us he was raised in poverty, grew up. That's why he has this fire to get more money and to flash it. The reason why he was caught is because he was flashing it all over Instagram. He was, dating Blac Chyna. Not dating, but, if you pay for her, she comes to you. He sent a plane to her. She went to Dubai with him, had dinner with him. So that was like, FBI were like, wait a minute. This guy doesn't have any other job, but look at him. He's so successful. He has all this money and the flashing of his wealth. It's just so ridiculous.
Subash, let's go. Yes. All right, Abdul. See you.
Hushpuppi is known to living a glamorous life. His real name is Raymond Abbas, better known as Hushpuppi, was arrested by Dubai police on June 10th. The 38-year-old was referred to the Dubai Public Prosecution and is currently being questioned by prosecutors at the Bird Dubai section. The prosecutors have charged him for obtaining money from others through fraudulent means. Hushpuppi's lifestyle, crazy parties, exclusive designer outfits, and more have sparked speculation about the source of his wealth. Hushpuppi is currently living in Dubai. He became famous for flaunting his riches on Instagram and motivating other hustlers to keep working hard for their dreams to come true. Several Nigerian celebrities have accused the social media mogul of being a fraudster. This is because he has not accurately described how he became rich and how he makes his coin currently. He is a professional scammer who gets wealthy by scamming and suspecting people online. The rumor started when he took a screenshot to show off his wealth but ended up revealing an email sent by someone he knew. It was determined that the email received on his phone belongs to Jane Woodscreen, who resides in the USA. It was then assumed that he is a scammer who has several fake identities. Hushpuppi on his Instagram bio claims that he is a real estate developer. Even though he never publicly claimed how much he is worth, it is estimated that Hushpuppi net worth is $20 million. This is an assumption based on all his cars, including a private jet, his jewelry, and his over-the-top lifestyle displayed online. He spent about 25.2 million naira to fly private to Paris after missing his flight. The flashing was too much, but also I kind of understand because he didn't have anything growing up, and now for him to have all this cash and all this money and women, he just wants to show it off. Look, I made it. And he forgot that he stole to get that. So the police were onto him. Anyways, I'm not on topic, I understand, because I started talking about Hushpuppi. But the reason why I'm talking about Hushpuppi is the story that the collaboration between the Nigerian producer and American, I think Hollywood, I'm not sure, Will Packer is part of, I guess. So those two coming together is because of this guy, Hushpuppi, to do a story about him. I'm happy that they're doing that because I would assume when a Nigerian tells the story of Hushpuppi, they can relate more, they can understand why he is the way he is. Of course, he could have taken the route of just working hard and not stealing and becoming successful. It might have taken time, but he might have gotten there because, as I told you, he has the brain basically. So I think this is important in telling our stories because the Nigerian producer understands Hushpuppi's journey, which neighborhood he grew up in, how difficult it was, what poverty is like in that specific area that Hushpuppi was raised. All these things coming together would paint a full picture rather than a Hollywood, producer director sits down and decides, I want to do a story about Hushpuppi. It's interesting, he's a scam artist, let's do this. But they won't have the full scope of what Hushpuppi had to go through to become who he is right now. In a way, the story will lack that authenticity and the viewers won't understand exactly who Hushpuppi is and how he became who he is right now, unfortunately in prison. So I thought it was really interesting. I think Chimamanda said it best. She said during a TED Talk titled The Danger of a Single Story, she said, quote, "The single story creates stereotypes, and the problem with stereotypes is not that they are untrue, but that they are incomplete. They make one story become the only story." I 100% agree with Chimamanda. When we hear stories, sometimes when it's just one-sided, even though it might be the truth or half the truth, you don't get the full story, you don't get the other side of it. So that's why I wanted to talk about telling our stories. When it comes to the entertainment industry, it's extremely important to have our own say in these things, especially when they're making movies, for example, for Mandela or Robert Mugabe, or in this case, Hushpuppi is still alive. He's a scammer. Granted, he's not the same as Mandela or Robert Mugabe, but I'm just saying it's really important to tell our stories. You might say, okay, why collaborate with, Will Packer when it comes to this Nigerian producer? He will get more audience. Who are we telling the story to? By the way, I'm those type of people that say first tell the story to yourself, to your neighbors, to your sister, to your brother, to your friends, and we can go from there. And we need to know our story first before we even tell the world. But at the same time, we can do both things. And the good thing about collaborating with those companies is they'll give you a wider audience. The same way Nigerians' name might be tainted because of this, what are they called, scammers or corrupt leaders. Now it's time for them to also speak from their side, not just the corruption side. Yes, corruption is there, scammers are there, all poverty is there, but there's also another side that nobody will show you. Only the Nigerians could speak for themselves and tell us about it. You know what I mean? So I love that these people are collaborating, because I'm sure these people will bring in, as I said, a bigger audience, as well as money, So good for them. But my only concern, and hopefully it won't happen, is allowing the other side to control the narrative. This should be a collaboration. That person might bring you the audience, the funding and everything, but you will not compromise in the stories that you want to tell. Don't let them taint what you want to tell. Don't allow them to take over and tell your story. The only reason why we will support your collaboration is if you're telling our stories the right way. Now we're talking about Nigeria. I hope we can talk about, other countries like my country, Ethiopia, or other countries like South Africa, Rwanda, Ghana, Nigeria, Algeria, each and every country in the African continent. I hope that we are able to tell our story in our own way with our own people. That's the hope I have for the future, because some people don't give movies the credit that they deserve. Movies can just come, slither their way into your brain and just influence you. And since we see that influence coming from the West, we need to be able to build our entertainment industries as well and start pushing our own stories as well, instead of just sitting down and listening to other people's perspective of us and telling us what we are, how we are, just through their eyes. We need to be able to speak through our side as well. And yeah, that's why I wanted to talk about this. I like it. I'm happy that they're doing this. This is not the first thing. Netflix has also partnered with Nigerians and creating movies, series, and that's wonderful. I think that's wonderful, as long as it goes without saying, we don't compromise on our values, principles, and let them tell our stories. This is our story being told by us. They're just giving us the platform and they can just benefit maybe with the profits. But yeah, so that's what I have to say about this. Anyways, guys, let me know down below what your thoughts are about this topic. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.